Ritchie Torres, a New York congressman, is the new Pope of the Jews and has basically said that I, as a Jew, am like a member of the Blacks for Trump, according to Ritchie Torres. I don't know his Jewish bona fides.
Besides a bunch of AIPAC money?
He talks to a lot of bots.
Here is, yes, exactly. Here is Ritchie Torres. Jews for Jamal is a little like Blacks for Trump. Except for, let's also be clear, there is no one coming in and spending tens, well, I guess on a presidential level it would be like literally $1 billion. But in no instance is Donald Trump going to be outspent 8, 9, 10 to 1 when it comes to outside expenditures. That's not happening. If someone were to create a pro-Trump black organization and call it the Black Vote, it would rightly be seen as deceptive advertising. The same should be said of the Jewish vote. This is the Jewish vote. This is the organization. Ritchie Torres seems determined to pretend progressive Jews don't exist rather than confront the fact that Jews aren't a monolith, and lots of us don't agree with him. We're Jewish and proud, and Jews for Jamal and proud. Shame on anyone who tries to invalidate our Jewishness. And then Ritchie Torres goes out and basically tries to invalidate their Jewishness.
And responds to that? I mean, you just didn't need to say anything, buddy, but decided to say something. You know who's a little bit more like Blacks for Trump in this instance is the congressperson who is defending the pouring in of Republican money into a primary district. Is that a little bit more, and Ritchie Torres is a person of color, is that a little bit more like Blacks for Trump than the person who's running as a progressive in that district? I mean, it really is just gross. I know he's referring there to this organization, which is offensive, but yeah. So Torres, I guess, is AOC New York 16, and then he's 15.
Bowman is 16.
Bowman is 16. AOC is 17, and he is 15. So they neighbor each other.
Mm-hmm. He's in the Bronx adjacent to AOC's district in the Bronx. The district that Ritchie Torres took over used to. He ran against Ruben Diaz Sr., who is that bigoted preacher in the city council.
Yeah.
So like Ross Siegel, he's like Blacks for Trump.
Apparently,
AOC is 14.
14.
Yeah.
I'm not a black person, so
14.
don't listen to me. But there's a great piece in The Nation today, co-written by Rashida Tlaib and Nina Turner, speaking about how Palestinian solidarity and black solidarity is intertwined. And I'd encourage people to read that piece instead of listening to this bought-off, corrupt blowhard.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to primary him out of his seat in the future at some point.
I mean, it's showing up in the polling, and the Biden administration has been completely oblivious to it. Ritchie Torres might be able to get away with it, but it's showing up in the polling.
I don't know how long guys like that are going to be able to say, like, every Jewish person who criticizes Israel is like Blacks for Trump. I feel like there's going to be some, maybe a reckoning going on.
There's definitely a reckoning going on. There's no doubt in my mind. We had that poll from a couple of weeks ago saying 51% of Jews in this country are support Biden conditioning aid to Israel. These numbers are going to grow.
Yep.
I mean, let's put it this way. There's no environment that is going to exist after this that is going to be more toxic or tentative for Jews to speak out. It's only going to become easier for Jews to speak out, and those Jews who reflexively defend Israel to become less defensive as more and more information comes out. There is no better situation for Israel than today, and then tomorrow it will be the same thing. The point is they're going to be progressively losing support from Jews in this country. There is just simply no doubt about it. There will become a point where it will stop, where where there will be, a hardcore rump of full-on Zionists within the Jewish community. And it will not drop from there, but we are not at that point. And, this is something I think that leaders in the Jewish community are beginning to understand. I mean, I can see it in just newsletters I used to get from different Jewish institutions that I've belonged to in the past, Hebrew schools that my kids have attended. There is a growing sense of Jewish identity cannot be tied to the project of Israel. And just as a cultural matter. And so,
And then when it becomes a little bit more clear that the Republican Party and AIPAC and Christian Zionists are driving the bus here,
Douglas
because,
Murray.
as we know, Jewish Americans are one of the more liberal voting blocs in this country. So once the partisanship of that becomes a little bit more laid bare, my hope is that guys like Ritchie Torres will be embarrassments and fixtures of the past, because there's no way to square that. And eventually the occupation and the subjugation of Palestinians, I mean, it's gone on for decades, but it can't go on forever. And so something has to break here, and it could, and hopefully in the end, it's a one-state democratic solution with full rights for all people.
hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.